Hello everybody, welcome back to True Gunners TV. Yes, we're back again, back with another video, back with another match preview. And of course, it is the big one this weekend. Arsenal taking on Manchester City in the big game of the season so far on Sunday. And we've got a few updates, guys. We've got an update on Bukayo Saka's injury. Mikel Arteta has just done his press conference and we're going to delve straight into that. Of course, Pep Guardiola has also done his press conference, so we'll run through that as well and see what he had to say in terms of injuries and updates on players making a return. But guys, listen, it is time. There is no more excuses. There is no more excuses. 4-year project out of 5, £650 million spent. It is time for Arsenal to beat Manchester City. And if we do beat Manchester City, it will be the first time since the FA Cup semi-final in 2017. We're now in big 2023. That's how long it has been. And it will be the first time in the league since June 2015 when Theo Walcott, and Olivier Giroud scored the goals in a 2-1 victory. Two players that have left Arsenal and gone on to move to multiple different football clubs and haven't been at Arsenal for many, many years now. That is how long our record at Manchester City has been held for. And that is how long it has been since we've seen Arsenal beat Manchester City. And the tide has to turn this weekend. There is no more excuses. Nobody can say anything. We're at home. It's at the Emirates. Manchester City have problems of their own. We're going to delve into them. And we should be beating them now with the squad that we have and the ambition that the football club has of competing and winning major honours. We have to we have to turn that tide around pretty damn quickly, and a good start will be by beating Manchester City this weekend. So, as I just said, Mikel Arteta has just done his press conference. We're going to delve straight into that. Bukayo Saka's injury was the main topic on display, of course. We've all been waiting for an update. Nothing has come out of Arsenal in the last couple of days. We've all been sitting here guessing, will he be available? Will he not be available? Well, here is what Mikel Arteta had to say. So, on his press conference, the first question he was asked is about Bukayo Saka, and Arteta's response was, well, he is in contention. Let's see how he progresses from here to Sunday. He had to leave the pitch. That's never good news, but let's see how he recovers. What is Saka's injury? I leave that for the doctors, was Arteta's response. So he's not really giving too much away. Still, you know, when you read that, when you actually listen to what he said, it's basically what we already knew. You know, he may be in contention for Sunday. We don't really know what his injury is. By the sounds of it, Arteta don't even know what his injury is. He leaves it for the doctors. I think that's a bit of a smart answer. I think he knows exactly why Bukayo Saka had to come off the pitch. And it's going to be very interesting to see over the next couple of days whether Bukayo Saka does actually make it and start against Manchester City. In my opinion, I would save him because he's played an awful lot of football, but there are many Arsenal fans and many football fans out there that, of course, would like to see him start this game. It's a big game, and we need our big game players, and Bukayo Saka is our big game player. So we could do without him being missing. Thomas Partey, he was asked about Thomas Partey and the latest on him. He said he is ahead of schedule. We wanted to have him in the squad. We couldn't play him on Tuesday because we had a lot of necessities. Again, I don't know what he means by that. But of course, Thomas Partey didn't play any part in the game against Lens on Tuesday. For me, that's a sensible move. You know, he's just come back from a long-term injury. The last thing you want is for him to be picking up reoccurring injuries like he has done at his time at Arsenal. So it is sensible that he didn't play Thomas Partey on Tuesday. However, we need him for this weekend. I don't want to see that silky German, that 6'3" lurch, that absolute fucking fraud of a £65 million signing, Kai Havertz, in the midfield this weekend. Because if we're going to beat Manchester City, we have to win the midfield battle, number one. And with no Rodri, there is no reason why we shouldn't be winning that midfield battle. Of course, they still have very good silky players. They've just signed Matthias Nunes. They've got Kovacic. You know, they've got other players that will come in and fill in that position. But if we play Thomas Partey, we play Declan Rice in the midfield, I'd expect us to control the midfield. I'd expect us to win that midfield battle, which will give us a good base to go on and win this game. And that's why I'm saying there's no excuses. You know, it's not like we're playing a full strength Manchester City. They have players out. They've got Kevin De Bruyne out with a long-term injury. They've got no Rodri. He's suspended. You know, apparently Haaland hasn't hit form yet. We'll delve into that in a bit because, you know, 7 goals in 8 games in the Premier League. I'm not sure that's not hitting form, but, you know. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in a little while. But, yeah, don't get it twisted. It's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. But if you're going to beat Manchester City, this is the best opportunity we're going to get. You know, this is the best opportunity we're going to get. They're a little bit weakened by, you know, the Rodri and the De Bruyne injury and possibly Bernardo Silva as well. Of course, Pep Guardiola spoke about John Stones in his press conference. Like I say, we'll get into that. So, yeah, this is the time to beat Manchester City. If Arsenal do not beat Manchester City this weekend, I will be very, very, very unhappy. Very unhappy. If we do not come away from that game with a minimum of a draw, I will be very unhappy. So that's what he had to say on Thomas Partey. He was then asked about Saka with England. I have spoken to Gareth on several occasions. I have to do my job and give him the news. He needs to make the best decision for the national team. I'm not going to get involved there. Well, this is what I mean, guys. You know, if you haven't seen it already, go and check out my video that I posted yesterday about these two managers in particular being very self-centered, very how do you put it? They only look after themselves. They have no interest in player welfare when it comes to Bukayo Saka whatsoever. Because as we all know, you know, Gareth Southgate has picked Bukayo Saka for England. There's no need for Bukayo Saka to be playing for England in this international break. If he is carrying a knock, an injury, whatever it may be, there's no need for this guy to be playing for England because one of them is only a friendly anyway against Italy, and the one against Australia, we're already top of the group anyway. So, you know, give other players a chance. Why do you have to run this kid into the ground? It really makes no sense to me, you know. Self-interested. That's all I can see. And I'm surprised that Mikel Arteta isn't going to step in on this one and say, look, you know, maybe leave him out for this international break because he needs to recover. Let's think about the player for once, you know. But, you know, it is what it is. Arteta on Klopp's request for Spurs versus Liverpool to be replayed. No comment. What a stupid question. You know, why? Why? That is all. Well, I don't think that was all because I listened to the press conference myself. Arteta on Ben White. Really happy with Ben. He's been really consistent player for us and he has developed in a great way as a centre-back, but also as a full-back because there was some question marks there. Well, I'm not sure about Ben White as a centre-back, my friend. He's definitely better at full-back. And if he is playing this weekend, he is going to have an absolute handful to deal with because Jeremy Doku looks really, really dangerous. And if I'm being completely honest, everybody talks about Haaland, and I understand why. You know, Haaland is their biggest threat, their danger. You know, he scores goals for fun. But if I had to name the player that I am most fearful of this weekend, I'm looking at Jeremy Doku, and I can't look no further because I look at the fact that Zinchenko inverts into the midfield, leaves his position an awful lot. There's space there that he can exploit. Ben White, you know, we've seen it even on against Bournemouth, against Nottingham Forest even. You know, he's not the greatest 1v1 defender. And with somebody like Jeremy Doku who's running at you with pace, power, it's going to be a difficult afternoon for both of them too. So, yeah. Arteta on if this game could be pivotal in the title race. We are not looking that far, that's for sure. One thing is for certain is that we will have to be at our best. 100%. 100%. I don't think anybody can really look at this game as being pivotal in the title just yet. It's still very early on in the season. But having said that, Manchester City are a team that is so consistent, they could just run away with it, you know. And we cannot afford to go too many points behind them, even at this early stage in the season. And that is also why I say we have to beat them this weekend. We have to get a minimum of a draw this weekend, but we have to turn around that tide of losing against Manchester City year in, year out, our ground, their ground. It has to stop. Yeah, we have to stop that if we are serious about competing again this season. Arteta on Pep's long balls in the last game. What a dumbass question. They've done that against Brighton or against Liverpool. It's adapting to the behaviour of the team. You know what you're going to provoke. They have different qualities with Ederson and another goalkeeper. What kind of a question is that? Do you know what I mean? Talking about long balls. I'm pretty sure that Manchester City are not Stoke. Yeah, they don't play long ball after long ball after long ball. They do it when they need to, and then they don't do it when they don't need to. But they're a possession-based team that like to move the ball quickly, create little triangles, and if there's an opportunity for the ball over the top, they'll play it. And this is where we got to be careful as well, because we like to play quite a high line. And like I say, they've got pace, they've got power, they've got Jeremy Doku, they've got Haaland, they've got Grealish, they've got dangerous players that we're going to have to really watch out for. So, yeah, not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. I also think I'm going to have to check this, but I'm pretty sure Man City still have one of either the second or the third best defensive record in the league so far again this season. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy at all. Arteta on Trossard, really important. I think Leo has been really good. He had a big impact. He was absent against Brentford when he could not compete. But apart from that, he's been really good. Yes, and I agree with that. Trossard has been exceptional for Arsenal since he's came in. He's a really, really good option. And do you know what? I've seen people putting out their starting 11, the starting 11 that they want to see for Sunday. And I've seen an awful lot of Arsenal fans putting Kai Havertz up front, Gabriel Jesus on the left. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, Kai Havertz offers absolutely nothing. Oh, but he's good at aerial duels. Who gives a toss? Yeah, when he gets in good positions, is he going to put the ball in the back of the net? No, he isn't, because the guy's not clinical enough. You know, we've already suffering from players not being clinical enough in the final third. Why would you add to that by putting Kai Havertz up top? Makes no sense to me, yeah? But they've got to protect their agenda. Of course they have. Of course they have, yeah? As far as I'm concerned, Kai Havertz sits on the bench this weekend, yeah? Not been good enough since he come to Arsenal. Oh, but Brandon, he scored a penalty. Whoop he fucking do, yeah? Not good enough since he's come to Arsenal. Doesn't deserve a starting spot in the team. And as far as I'm concerned, you can do it bench, because in a game like this, we cannot afford to have any passengers in this team. Every single player needs to be on their game. And if you're starting Bukayo Saka, cool, but he needs to be on it. Yeah, injury, whatever, right? For me, you play Trossard on the left. I mean, has everybody forgot about Trossard all of a sudden? You know, they're shoehorning Gabriel Jesus out onto the left. Why? You know, it didn't really work against Tottenham. Okay, you know, first 20, 25 minutes, he looked decent out there. Second half, he disappeared along with the rest of them. And it doesn't really suit his game. You know, he's better being that forward that drops deep, creates space for other players, and brings other players into the team. Why would you move him out wide? Make that make sense. So for me, you play Trossard out on the left if Gabriel Martinelli is not available, which it's looking like he's not going to be. And then you play Gabriel Jesus up front. You play Partey and Rice in the midfield to give you that extra security, dominate the midfield, and win the game from there. But one thing is for sure, we're not going to get many opportunities to score against Manchester City because they are very tight defensively, very well drilled, well-oiled machine in the defensive areas. So we're going to have to be clinical. And that is one thing that has really let us down so far this season. You know, not that we've created massive amount of chances, but we haven't been clinical enough in the final third. So, yeah, last thing you want to do is be putting Kai Havertz there. I just think that's fucking damn stupid, man. That's absolutely stupid. Yeah, we spoke about the Bukayo Saka update. And I think that's it. I think that's all that was asked of Mikel Arteta in his press conference. Let's see if we can find Pep Guardiola's press conference, see what he had to say. Fuck off, Football London. Absolute load of rubbish. Pep Guardiola press conference. Let's see what Pep had to say. Come on. Right. See, he had a lot more questions than Mikel. Jesus. Okay. So Pep had to say, any injury news? No. Stones is not ready to play. Maybe for the national team, but not for us. So that is there confirmed that John Stones will be out for the Arsenal game. So he will not make the Arsenal game. Not that it'll matter too much to them anyway. Arsenal still title rivals, absolutely, among Liverpool from what we have seen. But to analyse the contenders in the first 10 games, and we haven't even played that, we have to wait. But the big clubs will be contenders. So Pep is back in Arsenal yet again, and Liverpool to compete for the league this season. I think he's absolutely right, by the way, especially about Liverpool. I think Liverpool will be up there this season. Coping without Rodri, interesting. See, you know, you ain't got any puppets asking dumbass questions here so far. Yeah, we will see what happens. I start to talk today with my staff. We have to analyse, train this afternoon, and prepare tomorrow. Rodri is one of the 2-3 best holding midfielders in the world. So his influence on the team is going to be big, but he's not there. We've coped with absences in the past and we'll have to adapt. The team spirit and relation is much more important than any tactic. In game, you have to have good relation. If one player makes a mistake, your teammate is going to help you. The relation is so important. And when we have an absence as important as Rodri, we need to look deep inside us to solve it. We cannot start crying and complaining. We have to find a solution, and 11 players will be trying to win in London on Sunday. That's a good answer. Proud of youngsters stepping up. I'm delighted for everyone, young and senior. We know where we come from with the travel. We could play better or worse, but the training sessions, the focus on the team is still there. The last few games, we're top of the league, and in the Champions League, we make a big step in qualifying, which is the most important thing in this month by far. Then it's focus on the Premier League until the Champions League starts again. I'm not even going to read out thoughts on VAR. What you want better against Arsenal? Different games. Premier League is difficult, and Leipzig was too. For Wolves, it's completely different to Arsenal. Wolves defend from 1 minute. A holding midfielder goes with Matteo. I don't think with Arsenal that's going to happen. We have to adapt. We know each other quite well, and we'll see. Like I said, Rodri is not here, and we'll find a solution. We'll decide today or tomorrow and how we're going to press. The moment a player is not there, they're out. I don't think about it. He's away now on holiday, and he'll be back after the break for Brighton. Goals. I think since we arrived, we score a lot of goals. We have the ability with different formations, build-ups and pressings. We have a lot of goals, and that continues. De Bruyne still involved? Well, no, he's not. He's fucking injured, you bellend. Different timings because he comes in for treatment, but I see him every day and he's getting better. His mood is good. Hopefully, sooner than expected, he will be back. Preparation for Arsenal. Play it down. The second leg against Arsenal. When they come here, it will be different with a lot on the line. What I want is to arrive in February, qualify for the Champions League knockout stages, to be close in the competition, close to the top of the league, the distance short, and have the last 10 games in our competition. Let's go again. Big up to Pep. You know, he speaks so well in these press conferences, to be fair. 2000, bloody hell. That's not a great stat for Arsenal fans, is it? The last time Manchester City lost back-to-back games in the Premier League was 2018. Jesus Christ. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Struggles off facing Arsenal. They're a good team. Second, they make the man marking sometimes allow you to do some process, but after they are so aggressive, they have a clear pattern and really good team. They fought to be champions, and now they're here again. Arsenal are back. When I was young boy at Barcelona, Arsenal always were there. I saw them fighting with Fergie's team, but now they're back. When you look at the calendar, going to the Emirates is one of the toughest ones. Are Arsenal stronger after last season's title fight? I don't know, because I'm not in their locker room and I don't talk to them. I know Alex and I know Jesus, but the rest I don't know, but they are still there. The recruitment they have done is top, exceptional level of players. The keeper, Havertz, Rice, they are a good team. I'm not sure about Havertz though, Pep. I think you're lying there, buddy. I think you're lying there. So there we have it, guys. Yeah, that's the press conference reactions to Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola. Let me know in the comment section. Get yourselves in there right now. Can Arsenal beat Manchester City? Can we beat Manchester City? We have to beat Manchester City. Come on, guys. We have to. We have to. Big up everybody that's watching. Make sure you slap in a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course, as well. Hit the notification bell. Do all of that, guys, and help support the channel. It'll be really much very appreciated. Steve, big up, Steve. How are we doing? We've got AJ in the chat as well. Big up, AJ. Honestly, Brandon, if Partey at right back, that 5-0 City. However, if Partey is in midfield with Odegaard and Rice, with Ben White at right back, I honestly feel we nick it 2-1. Interesting. I definitely think you have to see Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard in the midfield. That is easily our strongest midfield. And then, like I say, a lot of the game of football, right? 9 times out of 10, if you win the midfield battle, you go on to win the game, as long as you're clinical, you know, and all the rest of it. but a lot of the game is played in and around that midfield area. If you can win the midfield battle, that gives you a good base to go on and win the game. And I think with them three players in the midfield, I think we can win this midfield battle against this City side. Obviously, if Rodri was in there, bit of a different story. But for game versus Man City, Arsenal will need everything to go their way, and City to be poor, not at it. No matter how good City is, they will still lose games. Could this be one of them? We see, yeah, no doubt, probably. Arsenal Manic, big up yourself. Who else we got in here? We got Kyle. Big up Kyle. Says big up Brandon. I must jump on and do a show with you, mate. We won't be winning this game. You're right, no excuses. But this club is Excuse FC. It's going to be interesting, Kyle. And we'll definitely get a stream arranged at some point. We don't want easy games. You don't become champions by winning just easy games. Exactly. If you want to beat the best, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best and be up and excited for this game. Yeah, I'm certainly up and excited for this game, even though, I'm nervous as well, extremely nervous. It's Man City, it's no little team. This is treble winning Manchester City. So, yeah. If Arteta gets his bum spanked by Pep again, he's definitely not the man to take Arsenal to the next level. If we get spanked 4 or 5-0, then I'm sorry, but he has to go. He has to go. 4 years into a 5-year project. You cannot be getting spanked. Steve, honestly, I feel if Partey is at right back, 5-0 City. If Partey is in midfield, I honestly see 2-1 to Arsenal. Yeah, I don't think we'll play Partey at right back. There's no need to play Partey at right back. If he, Jesus Christ, can you imagine this though? We're lining up on Sunday with Thomas Partey at right back. I will be absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. He's just asking for the sack then, if that happens. The funny thing is, you get the feeling that Pep takes it easy on Arteta every time he plays against him. Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, we got slapped 5-0 in Arteta's second season, I think it was. So, yeah. I mean, I kind of get where you're coming from. He don't want to embarrass his friend, but yeah, it's mad. Doku will definitely be put on Zinni's side. Lord help us. This is the thing, we've got glaring and obvious, parts of our game that Manchester City can exploit. We just got to be very careful. Saka has played way too many games. He's going non-stop for club and country for the last 3 years. I don't want to see him end up like Jack Wilshere or Wayne Rooney. This is the thing. But we're just going to have to wait and see, because it don't look like these managers are going to be looking to protect him anytime soon, bro. So it is what it is. Champions win many difficult games. It's not about easy games all the time. No excuses. He better get us an overdue win, especially the fact that we are playing at home. Exactly. Anthony, sadly, 100% going that way because Arteta and Southgate don't care. They're just users and not managers. I agree with that. Rice, I am really liking, and do you think he will live up to his price? Yes, I do. I think he already is, to be fair. He's brought that extra steel to the midfield. And I think when he starts playing with Thomas Partey, we could see a very, very good midfield. A very good midfield. Steve, Brandon, I am a Spurs fan, but I'm sorry, we will finish above you. We have finished above you 6 years in a row. This means we have been the bigger club in North London. Tell me why you don't agree. Because we finished above you 22 seasons in a row because we've got bigger history than you, because we competed for a league title last season and you finished 8th. Like, there's many reasons, bro. Like, come on, wake up. Steve, you can't be a bigger club until you won more trophies. Simple as that. 2018 back-to-back shows how consistent City is. Exactly. And Steve, if you get one wrong, one injury, your season is over. So respectfully, definitely top 4 or 5, but not above Arsenal. I agree with that. But yeah, that's, I can't believe that stat. 2018 was the last time that Manchester City lost back-to-back league games. That's crazy. And we're a big 2023. Jesus Christ. So yeah, a lot of things stacking up against us, but then also a lot of things going our way as well, especially with the whole Rodri thing. I just wanted to talk about Haaland, by the way, because there's a bit of a conspiracy theory going around about Erling Haaland, that he's been poor, that people, that he's not been the same Haaland that we see last season, the absolute monster in front of goal. And I've got to say, from what I've seen of him so far this season, he doesn't look as clinical as what he was last season. But people are getting this twisted up. Like, people are comparing Haaland and talking about him as if he's like Kai Havertz, and been dropping stinker after stinker after stinker and scored 1 goal all season. This guy, and Arsenal fans, I'm warning you now, do not get too cocky, right? Because this guy has scored 7 goals in 8 games. Regardless of whether you think he's not been clinical this season, regardless of whether, you think he's been poor this season compared to last season so far, 7 goals in 8 games. Yeah, that's still very, very good. Obviously, he gets a lot of opportunities at Manchester City because, they're normally the dominant team in the game. But, yeah, don't go sleeping on Haaland. And I'm seeing a lot of Arsenal fans going, Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Unreal. And the thing is even a poor player, we have a tendency of being Santa Claus Arsenal, right? We have a tendency of allowing poor players who've had poor seasons come to Arsenal and score. We all remember Christian Benteke at Crystal Palace. Couldn't hit a barn door. Oh, but we're playing Arsenal this week, boys. Oh, that's it. Benteke scores twice. Do you know what I mean? And we have a tendency of doing this. So, yeah, don't go getting your chest out yet, Arsenal fans, because we ain't done anything. Like I say, last time we beat Man City, 2017 in the FA Cup semi-final. Last time we beat Man City in the league, 2015. Walcott. Theo bloody Walcott. Yeah? Wally Walcott. Nobody rates him. That was the last time we beat Man City. Olivier Giroud. Nobody really rated him either. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, back-to-back games. The last time they lost 2 games in a row, 2018. Yeah, our backs are against the wall, guys. But listen, it will be what it will be. Of course, there is no stream tomorrow, but there will be match reactions and all of that on Sunday, and I look forward to it. I look forward to the game. I look forward to coming on and talking to you guys about how the game's gone. Hopefully, with a smile on my face. Hopefully, we break that duck. Brighton, Liverpool, 2 p.m. Then Arsenal, City at 4 p.m. As a neutral, I'm glad they have the best game on last. They'll both be very good games, I think. Even though Brighton got slapped up last week, I think they'll both be very good games. Even if he's been poor, got to still be wary. He can score at any time. This is what I mean. This guy is an absolute cyclops, So he's not human. And no doubt he'll bag 1 or 2 goals against us. on Sunday. Why do Spurs fans have chest? I don't know, bro. You know, they obviously haven't learnt their lesson over the years. Mr. Haaland will always scare me, 100%. 100%. What are Arsenal fans saying about Haaland? Are they saying Eddie is better? That wouldn't surprise me, bro. That wouldn't surprise me because we never learn. Eddie, better than Haaland, Jesus. Stephen says City will beat us. Look at what happened with the Lons game. Yeah, I mean, this will be a completely different game to the Lons game. But, yeah, make no mistake about it. It's a difficult game. But it's time to turn the tide now. There's no more excuses, like I said. You know, no more excuses. £650 million spent, 4 years out of a 5-year project. I expect us to compete with Man City, and I expect us to beat Man City. I expect us to take points off of Man City now, not just bend over and take it up the arse from them like we do every single year. Brandon, as a Spurs flam, please can you shut up your dirty mouth? Arsenal are an irrelevant club. Stop acting like you are big. You can't beat Lons. Well, if we're irrelevant, Steve, then Tottenham are definitely irrelevant, my friend. Do you want to see captain's performance from Odegaard? He has to shine. Yeah. Every single player has to have an 8 out of 10 minimum performance if we want to win this game. Odegaard cannot afford to go missing. Yeah, we cannot see another performance like we saw against Lons from Odegaard. We cannot see that from Havertz, if he plays, that is. We need players that are on top of their game, you know, and especially defensively, we need to be very, very wary of the threat that's coming back as well. Because Haaland, Doku, Grealish, yeah, you name it, Foden. Yeah, it is what it is. Arteta and Edu needs to go, says Stephen. Big up yourself. Steve says, you are just jealous of Spurs. I will never be jealous of Spurs, bro. Yeah, because what am I... What is there to be jealous about, Steve? Ask me. Come on, what is there to be jealous about? Yeah? Let's get... In fact, while you're here, Steve, let me just educate you a little bit, right? When was the well, in fact, let's do this. So, Arsenal have won an FA Cup in 2021. They won an FA Cup. Oh no, sorry, 2020. In 2017. In 2015, they won the league in 2004. Okay, we ain't won a Champions League, and we don't really tend to pick up Carabao Cups. When was the last time you won a trophy, Steve? 2008. When was the last time you won the league, Steve? 66? Jesus. Really jealous. I'm really jealous of your Audi Cup, Steve. Really jealous. Spurs couldn't even beat 9 men without help. Yeah, I mean, that was crazy, that VAR. Do you know what I mean? Crazy. Jealous of all the Premier League titles Spurs won. Maybe he means, yeah, all them Premier League titles. The big fat zero. Yeah, big fat zero. But there you go. It is what it is. Listen, guys, I'm going to wrap it up and get out of here. Like I say, make sure you slap in the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And more importantly, make sure you're here on Sunday, straight after the Arsenal versus Manchester City game, for my match reaction. It should be a good one. And I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we'll be here smiling, cheering, you know, talking crap about Man City and all the other teams in the league. But we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, that's it, guys, from me. Big up yourselves. I'm out of here. Peace.